Good afternoon, my name's Andrew Bennett and today I'll be going through the way I present a lesson on mass phenomenon of symmetry. A mass phenomenon is known as a fact, an impressive mass occurrence, a mass miracle, or an event which can be explained using mass. My chosen phenomenon is symmetry, and the target audience for my lesson material is aimed at a grade 2 to grade 3 class level. My lesson plan is aligned with the Australian Curriculum Year 2 level, ACMM G042, describe and draw two-dimensional shapes with and without digital technologies. My lesson will be broken down into 4 specific stages, with each stage having a desired level of achievement and understanding of each student, with each stage gradually getting harder as the student's knowledge of symmetry progresses. So to start off, stage 1 of my lesson will be explaining what symmetry is. So I'll have a rectangle as so, and I'll explain that symmetry is when a shape can be cut or folded in half to create 2 equal parts forming a line of symmetry. So as we can see here, we've got 2 equal parts on either side of the line of symmetry which both mirror image each other. So on the board I'll place just simple shapes. We've got the square, we've got the circle, we've got the triangle, and just explain the line of symmetry on each of the shapes that when folded, line of symmetry is formed with each side mirror imaging each other. So pretty simple to start off with. We'll then progress as we get a little bit harder to the next stage. I'll explain different lines of symmetry in the one shape. So I'll start off with the rectangle again. So here we have the 2 lines of symmetry formed from the vertical line, 2 sides formed from the vertical line of symmetry in stage 1. I'll then explain that when folded the other way, we have equal parts, again, which both mirror image each other, forming a horizontal line of symmetry. So for this task, I'll hand out a blank square to each of the students, one between 2, so they can work together, and I'm going to ask the students to form as many lines of symmetry they can on the specific shape. So with the square, all things going well, I'll ask a pair to come up with their square, and hopefully they'll have the vertical line of symmetry, the horizontal line of symmetry, and the 2 diagonal lines of symmetry, forming 4 different lines of symmetry in the square. I'll have them do this in a different coloured pen, obviously so they can dissect the different lines of symmetry in the shape. So the third part of the lesson, much more of a sort of group lesson where everyone sort of comes in and we all feed off each other's feedback. So third part, I'll be showing the students what asymmetrical is. So asymmetrical is obviously the opposite to symmetrical, is when a shape cannot be cut in half or folded in half to create 2 even sides and mirror imaging sides. Both sides don't match. So as you can see here, a rhombus, when folded in half, both sides don't match. So for this part of the lesson, I'll place an asymmetrical sign on the board with also a symmetrical sign on the board. I'll have different shapes laid out on the table, and the students will come through, pick up a shape, look at the shape, and place it in either symmetrical or the shape is not symmetrical in the asymmetrical part. So as the students do this, I'll ask the student to explain why they did that for that specific shape, and if a student gets it wrong, I'll ask another student to come up and help that student with the specific correct answer. So as you can see, I've used different shapes for the symmetrical shape just to make it a little bit harder for the students so they can see that not all shapes just have to be squares or rectangles to be symmetrical. So last part of the lesson, a bit more colourful to get people a bit more excited about the lesson. I'll have different objects or animals, such as we have the butterfly, we have a beautiful looking peacock here, and we have beautiful Granny Smith green apple. So what I'll do is I'll ask students to come out and draw the line of symmetry in each of the pictures. So one student for each one, and hopefully, providing that students have picked up symmetry well, they'll come up, draw the line of symmetry as we can see here, right down the middle of the butterfly, down the middle of the cassowary, and when the apple's cut in half, straight down the middle of the apple. So that concludes my lesson. Hopefully the students will pick this up quite well as we go through the lesson. As we go through, it gets more group orientated and a bit more colourful at the end for the students to pick up from. Thank you for listening to my lesson.